Hello, my name is Ryan Humphrey, and in this presentation, I'm going to provide an overview of the areas of work which I'll be using in the online Zoom session to explore digital music making with families. So, to provide a bit of background about me, I'm the project leader for the Youth Music Funded programme Loud and Clear, which works with care experienced children between the ages of 0 to 7 and is delivered by the UK organisation Sage Gateshead. I also deliver a breadth of family and early years music programmes across the northeast of England, including sessions in schools and nurseries. Alongside my delivery, I'm also a PhD researcher at York St John University, exploring the intersections between community music and cultural policy, as well as being a tutor in community art at the University of Edinburgh. So I'll start by providing some context on the Loud and Clear programme at Sage Gateshead. Loud and Clear is part of the Young People's Programme and it began in 2012 and receives funding from the UK funding body Youth Music. The programme is supported by Newcastle and Gateshead local authorities, Adopt North East and Adoption Tees Valley. And it is an externally funded programme. Its sessions are free at the point of access. We deliver 4 sessions on a weekly basis: Loud and Clear Foster Family Learning, which is a 0 to 4 programme working with children in the foster care; Loud and Clear Adoptive Family Learning, which works with children in the adoptive family system between the ages of 0 to 4; Loud and Clear Move On Up, which works with adoptive families with children between the ages of 4 to 7; and Loud and Clear Adoption Tees Valley, which is an adoptive programme for families with children aged 0 to 4. Alongside this, we also offer CPD and training opportunities for our families and musicians to develop their skills, such as ukulele training sessions and sessions around trauma-informed practice. We also provide access to wider Sage Gateshead music making opportunities, which I'll touch upon next. During COVID-19, our programmes were delivered digitally via the medium of Zoom. And since September 2021, we've moved to a hybrid delivery where we have participants engaging digitally and in the space. I also just wanted to touch on another strand of our programme at Sage Gateshead for Families, which is our open access classes, of which there are 3 strands of our work. We have our weekly 0 to 5 sessions, which have 3 classes called The Kids Are Alright, Baby Love and Feels Like Home. The Kids Are Alright are for children between the ages of 0 to 4. Our Baby Love is for children who are up to 1 year of age. And Feels Like Home is a digital class that happens virtually via Zoom for children across all ages. We also are in the process of trialling a 4 to 7-year-old class called We Are Family, which is based for children between the ages of 4 to 7, and we have a host of half-term events as well, such as family band. We do big family events, and we do a lot of online stuff for families to attend. All of these sessions are a mixture of individual and co-facilitation. Turning specifically towards our Loud and Clear project, our Loud and Clear sessions are underpinned by social pedagogical practice, which is an approach that aims to consider the educational needs of the child alongside their care needs in order to have the biggest impact. In this case, it is music and the need for children to develop relationships and a mixture of personal skills, recognising that these are often lacking within children in care's lives, particularly from an early age. Central to this approach is the use of social time and the fact that individuals need to interact socially to develop relationships. Within Loud and Clear, we've used this framework for a way of developing the sessions both digitally and in person to a time length of 90 minutes, meaning that there is more opportunity for children and their carers or children and their adoptive families to interact socially through the use of a break time. One of the key theories of social pedagogical practice is the idea of the common third, which Claire Cameron and Peter Moss explore in their work Social Pedagogy and Working with Children and Young People Where Care and Education Meet. They propose that the idea of the common third is that the child and the pedagogue, in this case the carer or adoptive parent, do an activity together at an equal hierarchical level and through the process develop a bond with one another. So for instance, within Loud and Clear, we reference the idea of music making being the common third, so the shared activity, and that the participants can engage with and develop a bond with one another through the process of doing so. Recognising that the arts can be a really useful activity for providing this, Helen Chambers and Pat Petrie developed the Head, Heart and Hands framework for artistic pedagogues, which is the development of social pedagogical practice. It is a framework for ensuring that the experience is meaningful and impactful and can be broken down into two areas, the 3H's and the 3P's, the head, heart and hand, and the private, personal and professional. The head, heart and hand aims to account for the head, so the knowledge of the child and the context with which you're working within, the heart, the desire to want to make a relationship, and the hand, the actual doing. Private, personal, professional is all around the barriers about what you take with you into the session, and I'll explore these in more detail when we have our online Zoom session. At its core is reflective practice, ensuring that there is time to reflect on what's happening in the space in order to develop the sessions further. Sessions are based around exploring areas of the early years foundation stage statutory framework, which is an outline of areas that children should be supported in developing, and we specifically focus our work on areas such as pulse, language, numeracy, and knowledge of the world. We do this by using a mixture of repertoire, some older, more traditional songs that carers and adopted parents and children are likely to have heard, such as songs like Wind the Boppin' Up or Down in the Jungle. And we also introduce newer ones as well. So we introduce new songs like B.O., for instance, which is a typical song that we've decided to employ within our sessions. We try to incorporate different elements such as Camden songs and action songs in order to help meet some of the aims of the early years framework. So we do a lot of dancing, we do a lot of songs like Wind the Bobbin, where we have the children moving to the beat of the music. Within this project, there is an emphasis on the child and adults partaking in the sessions together. It is not a case that the child partakes and the adult watches, it is that everybody in the space is there to partake if they would like to. So it's a continuous invitation to take part. Currently, our Loud and Clear sessions are run by two musicians who both specialise in early years music making. Now, obviously, with the current austerity levels within the UK, this is quite unusual, as usual funding only allows for one musician per project. However, we believe that this project requires two musicians for several reasons. Number one, to be able to support the children and families where needed. Children in the care system often want to make relationships quite quickly with people who they engage in with. And so we often find that we have to, you can have a child come up to you within the setting and maybe kind of wants to interact with you. So having another musician there who can continue to develop the session and continue to lead through the activities whilst you're working with the child can be really critical. Similarly, if there's an adult struggling, we can always support and give more attention where needed. So if an adult is perhaps having a challenging time with a young person, then perhaps we can be on hand to support if needed. The other reason is that it always provides some continuation if a musician is unavailable. If you look for care experienced children, having a sense of routine and structure is key. And so we believe that our project really offers that routine and structure because it's a weekly session that the children get used to knowing the musicians, get used to what's happening, get used to the space. And so it's really important that we have that sense of continuity and structure within our sessions. So if a musician is off, then we're able to invite another musician to come and take part within the session, but that doesn't disrupt the flow, and the children will already have one solid relationship there in the first place to be able to continue to work with them. In our full time of delivering the programme, we've only ever had to cancel the session once, and that was because one musician injured themselves on the way there, and another musician just couldn't make it because they were unwell as well. So we had that balancing act of what do we do, and we had to cancel the session, but that's once in 10 years. So it just goes to show how important those two musicians are to the delivery. So just to provide an outline of the session as well. So what does a session look like for us within Loud and Clear? And in the online Zoom session, I'll be exploring how we've translated these different sections online. But we've got 8 different parts of the session. So we have a hello song where we go around and we sing hello to each of the children, adding their names into the song, making sure that we sing hello to everybody. Even if there's a baby fast asleep, we'll still sing hello because it's all part of that welcome. We'll have a singing section where we sing songs like Wind the Bobbin or Clap Your Hands to keep you warm, or if you're happy and you know it. So the kind of often the more traditional kind of songs that can kind of totally get everybody in the mood for singing. It can capture the adult attention just as well as the children, and everybody can take part. We'll then do kind of an animal section. So we've got songwriting, but we use that term really, really loosely. And it's often about children choosing animals out of the basket. And we go around and we sing about all of the different animals that the children have chosen. What noise do they make? Where do they live? What do they do? And we kind of build songs around those ideas. We'll then do lots of movement. So we kind of get everybody up on the feet and we kind of have everybody jumping to the beat, and we'll do lots of walking, lots of tickling, lots of cuddling, lots of flying, lots of spinning. But it's all those ideas of kind of feeling the pulse and being able to embody that sense of pulse from a young age. We'll then have a break, which involves often eating cakes and drinking tea and having discussion, because the social time is so important. We then often do stuff like instruments. So we get all of these handheld percussion instruments out, and we'll do different things like conducting the group, keeping the beat, exploring lots of the musical features, such as playing loudly, such as playing quietly, all of those ideas. And we'll also have lots of favourites as well. Often we sometimes get out scarves. So online we've done a lot of scarf activity. So we'll do lots of movement and dancing with our scarves, waving them in the air, having a bit of a tickle, all those sorts of ideas. And we'll finish with some lullabies and goodbyes. So we always sing goodbye to all of the children within the space. It's kind of similar to how we do at the start. One of the things to note is Phil Mullen's comment, which I've just attached to the bulletin, is that this isn't a set structure, but rather a skeleton structure of things that we may deliver. So a session isn't always going to run exactly within that order, and some parts may happen and some parts might not happen because of the need to be social, to have that social interaction, to have that responsiveness. So these are kind of some of the parts which we do deliver, but there's also other features that might kind of come into it or might be taken out of it as well. And the reason why we have that structure as well, again, in terms of kind of being really, really responsive, is because we never know who we're going to get within the space, and we never know kind of how important the music making could be that week. So we have to be really responsive to the group. So thank you for listening, and I look forward to the Zoom session discussing in further detail how this project is transferred digitally, as well as the different activities that we've been using online. I'll end by sharing our loud and clear evaluation video just to kind of give that overall summary of the project.
My name's Eleanor Mooney and I'm the programme leader for Loud and Clear Early Years here at Sage Gateshead.
Hello everyone.
Our project began in 2012 and provides weekly music making activities for foster and adoptive families with children aged 0 to 5 and any older siblings too.
I'm Kerry, I'm a foster carer for Newcastle. I've been fostering for coming up to 8 years. Before I started the project, I thought music and nursery rhymes were just a good way of helping children learn rhymes, to learn songs, to give them something to do. Where through doing the project, I've learned it's much more than that.
How we play, how we play, how we play, and we stop.
I'm Maria and I'm an adoptive mother and come to the music class. When you go to adopt a child, it is like an emotional roller coaster. You go through so many vetting procedures, and then once that child is matched with you, it's then another emotional roller coaster to actually meet the child. We found out about the adopted music classes and it was absolutely brilliant because it meant that it became like a sense of community for us all.
We are both foster carers. We come along because our foster child absolutely loves it. When she first started coming, she was a very timid little girl, but now she's quite outgoing and she really looks forward to coming.
What's that? What's that about?
Wow. Hi, my name's Andrea and I work for Gateshead Fostering Team. There's no other group out there like it. It's a comfortable group where looked after young children can be unique, and the musicians who run the group understand.
I am Sophia and I work for the Loud and Clear project at the Sage Gateshead. it has taught me to be very flexible because you come to these sessions and you never really know what is going to happen. The relationships that we've built, it's very different from the other work that I do. So I look forward to coming here on Friday mornings because I come to a group that I really enjoy spending time with.
Carol is just fantastic with all the children. She's got this spell over them. She's brilliant. Jim, it's lovely to have him on there. So it's a really nice balance.
As musicians, we tend to work very much on our own, on other projects. This is one of the rare ones, isn't it, where we work as a team.
My name's Emma. We've had James for 12 whole weeks now. During this session, I find that James, he just lights up. I think in the future, I see that James is going to make some lifelong friends because they've all got something in common. In here, you can ask the other mothers as well, oh, what was it like for you? So it's not just for James, it's for me as well.
I wonder, shall we get up and have a little dance? Everybody stand up, stand up, stand up. Everybody stand up on the floor.
My name's Lucy and I have 2 children that I've adopted.
And I'm Grandma, Madeline, and we've had wonderful experiences.
It just felt refreshing to be in an atmosphere where people weren't expecting you to talk and divulge information that you didn't want to. But then, at the same time, you could just come in and have a meltdown as well.
Other people who go to music groups, they'll be talking about breastfeeding and giving birth, and really you're not part of that. But when you're here at the adopted music class, you can talk about your experience as being an adopted mother. So that's why in the middle when we have snack time, some of those conversations are what we have, and that music's brought us together.
Well, our home is a musical home. It may not be in tune, but we do our own songs and dances. We do.
Some of the benefits we've seen outside the sessions are motivating the children, bringing the songs into the home. People think we're silly, we're walking down the street, we're singing songs, we're doing dances. They're just thinking, oh, we do this at singing group. They just think of it as play. We've even made all the children that's come to live with their own what's in a bag with little puppets, and my daughter made a book with all the songs in to give all the children, so when they left, the new parents would have all the words to the songs.
Time to put the instruments away.
She's got a huge interest in music now as well. She's got instruments at home, and we've seen a huge change in her. She can keep in time with the music.
When they go to school, they're going to have the skills of sitting down, listening. They're going to have the skill of turn taking.
Unless you know about the group and you know what it's about and what the benefits are, then you tend just to think, oh, it's another singing group. But actually this group's not. It's about development. It's about inclusion.
I think the sessions should go on the road.
I would like to know that it was available in other areas because it is so valuable.
And I think what makes it exceptional is that, that the people that run it are just so lovely.
Exactly.
And, you can tell that they really care for the children as well.
Give yourselves a round of applause. Well done.